when it's wrong to the individual because it deprives them of a future like ours, right?
So then why do you value brain dead patients? They don't have a future like ours. I'm not a free speech absolutist. I think that a lot of speech should be banned.
Whoa!
Do you think?
Yeah, and I think that the reliability isn't particularly what's in question. It's more of like what is just. It would be more just for us to handle our own pedophiles and for Mexico to handle their own pedophiles and to their own legal system.
Dean, do you like abortion? Are you a fan of abortion?
I love
Loves abortion, bro.
I don't.
I love
Do you have the
I don't.
stamp card?
Here.
He's an abortion maxer.
Abortion is
I've said
something
this
we
to-
ought to do.
Abortion vaccine?
So the people who know me on the server, they know my stance on abortion is that I don't touch the debate with a 10-foot pole just because I'm so rational in the debate. I understand all the logical reasons why we should allow abortion. It's that, you know, if we were to just force every single woman who ever got pregnant to have a kid, then there would ultimately be more baby deaths, possibly. There would be more depressed mothers. There would be possibly more suicides amongst women. And also,
But the whole point of abortion is they die, though.
Yeah,
That's
I
like
know.
the whole point.
And of course, there is the incest, rape, and murder, which does only account for a very small percentage of all abortions. But the thing is, where I become
Is it
irrational.
just me, or is Bubba giving like good Tim Pool vibes, like a little bit?
I don't know who that is.
You do. I mean,
He's got a
it's the beanie.
Yamakandi's
I don't know who
beanie,
that
bro.
is.
He's a Jew.
I'm not.
It's the beanie. It's
The only
beanie.
the only reason why you're saying
Dean, please. The reason I'm wearing a beanie is because I have a worse hairline than you do.
No, that's also the
he's
reason why
cooked, bro.
Tim. That's the reason why Tim Pool wears it too.
It was a compliment, by the way. Continue what you were saying. I apologize.
Yeah,
It was a
no, you're
you
good.
like him, Pool? That's gross.
Is there any like pro-lifers that want to run an ARG?
No wonder he's not a Christian champ.
Yeah, I love life personally.
Yeah, I'm a
love
huge
life?
fan of being alive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
love
hate abortion. We hate it.
Can I critique that, Jovo?
Sure.
Okay, so you love life. Life has a right to life, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Doctors that pull the plug on brain dead patients, they're murderers?
Yeah, probably.
Space.
Okay. All right. Are you vegan?
No.
Okay, so you think that a human carcass has more value than a cow?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure in Catholicism, euthanasia is a sin. You have to let them die naturally.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You're a Catholic. Okay.
No,
so
I
do you
didn't say
think
I was a Catholic, but I'm just saying in that way of thinking.
All right. Yo, so Jovo, do you like value all human life identically?
Sorry, say it again. I'm sorry. You cut out.
Do you like attribute the same amount of value to all human lives?
Yeah, that seems like a reasonable position.
Okay, and like unjust killing of a human, that's murder, right?
I think that's like definitionally right.
Yeah. Should murderers go to jail?
It could be manslaughter.
All right. Sounds good. So if if a woman with an IUD kills a zygote by not allowing it to implant into that uterine lining, that's the unjust termination of a human life. And apparently, you value all human lives the same, meaning that that's just as wrong as putting a gun to the back of my head. Meaning she's a murderer that should be in jail, right?
That sounds like a reasonable position. Yeah, I feel like you're just saying like you believe this, and I'm like, yeah.
Wait. Would you save one person to and kill 10, or save 10 people and kill one?
Save one person or kill 10.
It's the lever problem.
Wait, hold on. Can you be more specific? Hold on. Are you saying all else being equal? Because obviously I would, save 10, like in a burning building. Or
Yeah. Burning building, save
building.
1 to kill 10, or save 10 to kill 1.
I don't know. I don't know if I really like the way because like if I'm leaving one person to die, is that the same thing as me killing them? If that's how you think, then sure. Like I'll be like a burning building situation. Sure. If the question is next is like 10 petri dishes or one person, the answer is 10 petri dishes.
So yeah,
you have to save 10 people, which is logical.
Who are you gonna save? Me or 10 zygotes?
Yeah, that's what I just said. 10 zygotes.
Wait, you can't choose to not do anything at all?
Jesus
You can't
Christ.
choose for both of you to die? Wait, you can't. That's not a choice? You can't choose to not do anything?
No. I mean, listen, like, just let him have his hypothetical, right? Like, I don't
Bro,
understand
that's
why I
10
have to
future
protect that.
presidents, bro.
Yeah, the most genuine debater I've ever.
I'm not being ungenuine. I really hope. I hope you don't think I'm like trying to debate you. These are just like my genuine beliefs. I'm sorry.
Well, so wait. So, do you think that there's like a medical genocide in like every single developed country on the planet because of the tens of
genocide
thousands
is like typically. I don't think it's like targeted, right? Like
Oh, it is.
example,
Wait. Doctors actively target and intentionally pull the plug on brain dead patients.
Oh, if that's what
What's
you meant, I
medical
thought you meant like
genocide when you
abortion.
jack
Because
off?
usually like people like independently come to an abortion. But if you're saying that like there's like this panel of doctors who are like we need to kill all of these brain dead people, then yeah, sure, it's a genocide. Sure.
Jesus
What about it?
Okay, so this is just how you feel.
Yeah, genuinely. Like I don't know.
Okay,
Like that doesn't.
what is it? What is it to you? Is it like the human life? Is it the species plus life?
Yeah, I guess like life. It seems like I'm able to have some sort of relationship. I'm able to relate to other people.
Can you
Which I'm
relate
not
to a
saying
fetus?
you aren't. I'm not saying you aren't, but I'm saying I think the ability to relate ought to have some normative power behind it.
Okay,
So
can you relate to a zygote?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, we
Do we
all
believe in
were
life?
zygotes at one point, so we actually can, Loki.
Do we all
Um,
believe in life at conception? Is that the thing here?
Like all of
No,
us were once
obviously not.
zygotes.
Yeah, more specifically in the sense of I'm sure, like, if you've argued a bunch about abortion, right? You've probably heard like the
Flow.
future like ours
I'm a big
thing.
flow guy. Big flow
I'm
guy.
sorry.
Big flow guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just like I'm just copy pasting Darn Marquis' argument, right?
Wait,
Like the very
can I?
fact that they can have a future like ours, seems to suggest that we ought to value them, right? It has some like normative content behind it. That's it.
Okay.
Can I
So
ask you a question real quick? Like, would you prefer, would you prefer for a cat to be like skinned alive, or for a baby human to be like just that they were laughing and now they're kind of like disgruntled?
Or what?
Are you asking me or are you asking Dean?
You.
Uh, a cat to be skinned alive or a baby to be disgruntled.
Okay, that might be hyperbolic. Okay, a cat to just
Okay.
be like hit or something, right? Like a cat to be hit. Or
Okay.
like
A
a
cat.
baby to be like disgruntled instead of like happy or something from like their lollipop being taken away or some shit.
It's not immediately clear to me why like a constant state of happiness is preferable. So I guess
I'm just kind of like trying to
I
draw on
prefer.
your like moral scale a little bit.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. The reason why I say this is like I'm not trying to like get out of the hypothetical or anything. What I'm trying to say is like the answer to this question probably isn't indicative of what you think it is. Because if I say that I prefer that the cat isn't, skinned alive or whatever, or sorry, isn't hit, the reason for that isn't necessarily because I value the cat. It's more so because I don't necessarily think unhappiness towards the kid is like this inherent negative thing, right? So it's just like Dean, if I may ask you, and this isn't like a debate bro question. I'm genuinely curious. The reason why I think like murder or killing, let's say killing, the reason why I think killing when it's wrong is wrong to the individual because it deprives them of a future like ours, right?
So then, why do you value brain dead patients? They don't have a future like ours.
Yeah, but the
Okay,
thing, he could be a miracle. That's what he's trying to allude to. It's possible like a
no,
miracle
not
could
even
happen or
that. Like
something.
I think like that's a fair enough point, right? Like if I'm completely brain dead and I have no ability to relate to other things, you might say that I have no future. But I guess like a brain dead person, is it not true that they can appreciate like love around them? I think they
It
can.
is. It's not true. It's not
Oh, if
true.
it's not true, then yeah, sure, whatever. Okay, then yeah.
Yeah, who was that
Totally
lady
fine.
that was like a big deal in the
So,
90s
so
that her
the
parents wanted to kill her and her husband wanted to keep her alive or something like that? Like,
So if somebody quote unquote like comes back from brain death, it just means that they were never brain dead because like definitionally speaking, brain death implies a lack of an ability to come back because it's the complete and permanent cessation of cognitive
you're a
function.
vegetable,
Oh, okay.
right?
Then
Yeah.
definitionally, I was just confused. Definitionally, I was just confused as
so
to what you meant, which I apologize. In which case,
No
I'll
reason
just
why
say
we
that
wait,
yeah, you should be able to
wait,
pull the plug
Jovo,
on.
what do you value? What do you value then? Like, what is it that you value?
Well,
he
hold
values
on.
a flow.
Can I
That's
get into
not
my question?
accurate. Hold on. The
Can I
brain
get into?
death thing wasn't accurate.
That
It doesn't
was
So,
matter.
accurate.
It
you know,
doesn't matter.
like
It
brain
really
death.
doesn't matter.
Okay.
Empiric, it doesn't matter. Like because the answer to the question is, do they have a future like ours? Yes. Okay. Well, then don't pull it. No. Okay.
Wait.
Then
Wait, so Jovel, you just value the potentiality of some material composition? Is that
Well,
like
actually, no,
what
because
you're
the
saying?
future like ours is the present trait.
Just really
Yeah, the
quickly,
future like ours is
can I
the
just ask
present
the
trait.
question? Can I just ask the question? Dean, why is killing wrong to you? That's it. That's all I was trying to ask. Sorry.
Of course, killing is wrong to me, as I believe it is a rights violation.
Oh, like I have a right to what? Sorry,
Right to life.
Okay, that's fair. I think. Okay, so and then you're gonna say something like rights are only given to people who have XYZ attributes, like maybe they're conscious or something like that, or what? Sorry.
Yeah.
Viable.
Okay. Okay. I guess that's interesting. So you think that like it's wrong to the person itself. You don't think it's wrong because I don't know, their family's going to be sad, right?
Well, so I think it's wrong because it's a rights violation of the person. Now, like there's like external value that you could apply onto a person, onto the murder of a person, that can make it quote unquote more wrong, like a grieving family, or like a gruesome death. But
A pregnant
I feel
woman
like
and
all
then
that
kid. Yeah.
all that
I mean, you can
external
like kill him right
value.
too if the guy's an asshole.
Yeah,
So
all of that external value is predicated on just a rights violation. I think that you have the right to life if you have a conjunct between past or present and future consciousness. I find this to be the most morally preferable position due to the lack of terrible reductions. There's a couple issues with flow. A few absurdities, like value in a zygote. B, we have a couple problems here. Like if we were to have a brain dead baby, and then a syringe that could bring it back to life magically, because the syringe and the brain dead baby are separate and distinct, you'd be saying because that baby wouldn't have a flow, meaning that it's not wrong to just throw that syringe out the window and stab that brain dead baby in the heart. And that's also something I don't really like.
I guess I'm not convinced that like future like ours position commit us to that, but I suppose
It does.
and I guess we can go through like all the reductions if you want, but a more interesting conversation might be um like about moral harm. So um it- if I'm wrong, essentially, and nobody likes this argument, but I'm just curious as to how you respond. If I'm wrong, right? I've done a
Mm-hmm.
harm, right? I've taken away rights from women, for example.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's definitely a harm. Okay. If you're wrong, I think genocide is a strong term. You've allowed the killing of
Just call it genocide. Just call it genocide. You
yeah, sure. Like just for the simplicity, you've allowed genocide, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we look at like
Of
these
cows.
when we look at these two positions, we might say, like, out of moral caution, it's preferable to take my position, even if it ends up being wrong. Because we're like in a state of unknown, it might be preferable to take my position.
Yeah, so that's a precautionary stance, but I believe that the precautionary stance goes both ways. As you kind of pointed out, if I'm wrong, a violation of like the fetus's right to live. If you're wrong, a violation of the mother's right to bodily autonomy. I believe that both the right to life and the right to bodily autonomy would fall under a category of human rights, in which I hold the most value to. And I might even say that I value a fully autonomous woman's right to bodily autonomy more than the right to life, that of a fetus. So I feel as if the precautionary stance, because it goes both ways, would kind of, in layman's terms, cancel itself out. And that's kind of been the conclusion of my thoughts on that position from the last year or two.
Wow, in layman's terms is
Of
the way of
pondering.
saying like you're dumb, dude. Like
Got him.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
I don't think that.
no, I literally just explained PIMDOS on a precautionary stance, So
No, yeah, it's good. Yeah, it does go both ways. But like, how do I say this? You've been good faith and you've taken my positions at face value, right? If I say I value Zygote, you're not going to be like tell me I'm lying, for example, right? So I hope you don't take this.
do I think that you might be lying? Yes, but I keep it consistent. No one's gonna
Yeah,
be
for,
like,
for
oh
sure,
my god.
for sure. I just like I hope you don't think I'm accusing you of lying here, but it seems it seems to strain credulity to say that you think that me restraining women in this way is the same, would be the exact same like moral travesty as allowing like a genocide daily. That seems I don't know.
Might
I don't
even be
know.
more of a moral travesty.
That's
Yeah, no.
you can take that position as well.
Yeah, so the reason I believe that it does have a lot to do with human rights violations in the mother, and which I do find to be downplayed quite frequently. I feel like any other way we were to frame this position, violating somebody's bodily autonomy without good reason is usually looked at in a very bad way. I mean, think kidnapping, think slavery. All of these things are very, very wrong, and we think they're very, very wrong because it's the infringement of one's bodily autonomy and integrity without good reason. And it's the same category that denying a woman access to abortion and the lack of good reason, i.e., the lack of a right to life of the fetus, would yield. So I do think it's very wrong. I just think we're societalized to think it's not as wrong as it actually is. So I do hold that position. And then also secondarily, I grant the right to life based upon the presence of a conscious experience of sentience, etc. Now, of course, that right's going to be granted to the fetus at 20 weeks, but how much consciousness does a fetus have at 20 weeks? Not that much. So why do I value that fetus just as much as you? As well, the conjunction of a future higher level of consciousness. And I do find the murder of an entity with a low level of consciousness now, with a high level of consciousness in the future, not as bad compared to the death of an entity with a high level of consciousness now. And kind of in consideration of these facts, let's say that the ability to have any level of sentience starts being expressed at conception. I find that murder either equivalent or not even as bad as a violation of a fully autonomous woman's right to bodily autonomy.
Okay, yeah, I guess so.
Go ahead.
Autonomy, because I feel as though you're using. Okay, I guess I'll just ask the question. If I, grab your hand, for example, this is
Yeah.
obviously a violation of autonomy.
Oh
Or
my god.
what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you violate my
Presumably,
autonomy.
yeah. Presumably, this is not going to be as bad as
Kidnapping you.
yeah, sure, kidnapping or
Yeah.
any variety. We're actually going to put this at a pretty low level of like maybe you should. I don't even know if you believe you ought to get arrested for that, right? Like that's not even. It's a pretty low level
Yeah, sure.
moral harm, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I'm curious if you could flesh out your views a little bit more as to how you view like certain autonomies
Well, actually,
to be like these great moral because it's
I
not
have a
mere
response
autonomy.
to Bean based off of what he
Or the
said.
R word,
Say it again,
the
Beatrice?
R word somebody, that should be like a great moral harm.
Well, of course, yeah, but it's not mere personal autonomy, of course, right? Because as we just said, like grabbing somebody's wrist or something, that's not going to be like a great moral travesty. So it's
Well,
not merely that. It's
well,
something.
I do think it is merely that, right? It's just not always going to be as wrong. See, it could like some violating one's right to bodily autonomy could be, worse or better in certain circumstances, predicated on the level of harm caused. And I feel like this principle is like pretty accepted. Like for instance, hate speech is wrong, but I'm gonna find it like significantly worse to like slur a black person and call them the N word over and over and over again than maybe telling your ex-girlfriend that she looks ugly today, right?
Sure.
And
Fair.
just because a gradient of how wrong hate speech is doesn't deny that it is the hate speech in which is merely wrong. The hate speech and harm in which
guess,
it yields.
well, it's not that. Like, yeah, I'm not saying a gradient results in like a debunk of the moral standard. What I'm trying to figure out is like you're saying that there's this. You're saying like this personal autonomy is what is like the wrong maker or the truth maker of it being wrong, right?
I hear what you're saying. It's like the violation of one's bodily autonomy, which I could either argue would implicitly yield necessary harm, and that's what constitutes the right violation, or one could argue that it's not just the violation of one's bodily autonomy, but also how much harm said violation would yield. I think either way, I'd still have a tangible position, and I feel like that kind of just reduced down to semantically how display.
Yeah, I want to ask you,
Yeah.
Dean. Would you ask for the Roman salute to be banned in America?
Yeah, he just talked about hate speech just now.
Yeah, I'm pretty okay with
Yeah,
that.
but it's illegal to do that in America, but it's not legal to do that where I'm from.
Who cares?
Yeah,
That's
would you-
legality, not morality.
imprinted
I
on the
asked him, not you.
DOJ. Sorry.
Right, but you're just confusing the conversation. Like, you're talking about legality, not morality. Can you stop confusing the conversation, please?
Oh, so you and him are the only people allowed to speak?
I would just prefer that you...
Can I jump in really quick? I have something relevant to this conversation. I think, tell me if this is stupid. I think morality gets like really, really simple if you just like dumb it down to its base elements. I think what is morally good is what I personally feel is morally good, and the opposite for evil.
To the extent that that's tenable... Go ahead, my bad.
No, I was just gonna say, then we can't debate anything.
Right, to the extent that that's a tenable position, I'm not able. You are, in principle, unable to be convinced.
And then also, isn't that what like? Wait. Actually, yo, real quick. Isn't that exactly what like white supremacists do?
Yeah, I would say that to them, they think what they're doing is good.
Yeah, but you're allowed to do it in America. That's the whole point of the First Amendment. So I'm asking, because that's considered hate speech by a lot of people.
I don't really care about the legality. Legality is just the morality of the state apparatus.
Yeah, he's right though. Morality is very different than legality. The people that were hiding Anne Frank in their attic were breaking the law, but they were doing what we would object.
I'm just asking him a question, and for some reason, this other guy's getting triggered.
Can you just tell
I want to repeat this. This is really important.
It's a really dumb question.
The law is just the morality of the state apparatus. That's it. It doesn't mean anything else.
Yo, Javille, listen.
You're not a mod. Argument, though.
You're not a mod. You're not going to moderate this room. Just letting you know.
Something
so, Dane, do you think you can answer my question? Because I know, like, Joshville is angry at me.
Yeah. Ban the Hitler salute.
Okay. I just wanted. That was all I wanted. But you know, he's too angry at me.
I'm not a free speech absolutist. I think that a lot of speech should be banned.
Whoa!
Do you think the N-word should also be illegal?
No.
Yo!
So the Roman salute should be illegal, but the N-word should be okay.
No, both should be illegal.
How about the N-word for black people to say?
Oh no, it should be legal for black people to say.
But not for white people.
So you want to take away the rights of this one Pacific race, basically?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Isn't that what the white supremacists do?
No, because they want to take rights away from non-white people, and I want to take rights away from white people.
Dude, do you think that's fascist? Oh, you're doing a joke.
Bro, what?
He's doing it. Because he's a self-hating white person. It's on Twitter all day.
Dean, hold on, Dean. That just makes you sound like you are horribly filled with white guilt.
Are you Jewish?
Bro, what?
Yeah, like you want to take away the rights from white people, and you want to take away the rights from white people to say a particular word. Which, don't get me wrong, you shouldn't. You morally shouldn't say the word. Legally,
take it away.
You can't get a shot. Me and you should not.
I mean, that goes against the First Amendment, so that's just un-American.
So then get rid of the First Amendment.
Get rid of the First Amendment.
Cut it. Get rid of it.
I defended you, Edomite.
That's wild. That's wild because isn't that what the white supremacists and the Hitler supporting people did to the Jews?
What?
Isn't that what the Hitler supporters? Isn't that what the white supremacists want? And it's what the Hitler supporters did. Taking away the rights of only a very particular people, especially freedom of speech.
No, because I already said they wanted to take it away from non-white people, and I want to take it away from
That's not better, bro. I said a particular people, a particular set of people for that purpose.
No, I'm trolling. If you can't tell, I'm sorry.
I'm bad with that. Listen. Listen. There's a person. Anyway.
No, my views on speech usage, insofar as how it should apply to our legal code, are interesting. So I think I can recognize these things as being morally wrong, and honestly, I would be okay with like banning words or banning like actions like the Roman salute if it were to yield the best pragmatic outcome. But I don't think it does. Like,
it just increases it. I'm telling you.
Look at the UK right now. I think like what should exist is like social consequence and social repercussions compared to legal ones, because like from what I could see, when legal
the guy that got arrested today in Colombia or whatever, Mahmoud or whatever, for protesting Palestine. Like, what do you think about him getting arrested and possibly being deported? He's like in Louisiana now. Like
America is an evil state, and I wish it ill.
What?
Okay, damn. But
I think that what is happening to Mahmoud is bad.
I don't know. This says I can't talk about America, but he wants to talk about Palestine. It's pretty hypocritical.
What? No, I think Palestine's great. I want more of Palestine.
No, the other guy, not you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait, you're a self-hating American? You hate your country?
I absolutely fucking. Well, it depends on mood, honestly. If America does something good, then I'm proud of it, and if America does something evil.
What's your take
That's your
on
preferences.
him being deported?
Good point.
I think deporting good people is bad, and deporting bad people is good.
Wait. So I think that all deportation is wrong. Literally all of it. I don't think that we should deport anybody.
Okay, so what if someone's in the country illegally and they're a pedophile and they rape someone? Should they be deported?
No, we should absolutely not deport them, because why would we let a child rapist pedophile roam free in the streets of another country? Throw them in American jail.
You're just saying a very true thing, but like, how do you feel?
Oh, you want to throw them in jail instead?
Right, but keep them here, Dean, so that way they can do it in this country legally.
At Colombia, they got
what happens when he gets out?
And is getting kicked out, like from ICE, even though he has a green card and his green card is being revoked. Like, how do you feel about that?
Bad.
Yeah.
I don't support deportation. I fucking don't. Actually, on one premise, I actually do support deportation of like a violent migrant who gets arrested, undocumented migrant who gets arrested for a crime. Don't deport them now. Throw them in jail. They get out. Deport them.
But why throw them in jail in an American prison? Is that what you're implying?
Yeah, given that like the country in which they would be deported to doesn't have like proper jail systems.
Yeah, but then you would quite literally be using your tax dollars to house them.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think that's a very like small cost for like a very good humanitarian outcome.
Wait, you don't want your tax dollars to go against child pedophilia?
Sorry, really quick.
For real, you don't want your tax dollars to prevent children
here's
getting
something
raped,
that would
you
make
piece of shit?
here's something that would make the mainstream news, right? Let's say
Sounds taken out of
America finds an illegal immigrant. He's a violent pedophile, horrible person, and then they were to throw him back to Mexico. And do you really think nothing is going to be done with that guy? Like, if we were to hand him over to the
cartels
Mexican
probably get him.
If the cartel would get him, what do you think the cartel would do to that guy? I'm not like the cartel is drug movers. They're not pedophiles. They have standards, kind of like prison rules, bro. They'd probably decapitate him.
Jewish lady. Now it's run by that Jewish lady, and she's really, really cool.
I was more directing that question at Dean. Like, wouldn't it be moral, or like, wouldn't it be correct to throw him to the Mexican authorities that would absolutely do something with him under their grounds, because he's not a citizen of America, and to charge him under American standards, just real quick, just to charge him under the American law system, which he is not a part of, it definitely should not be the system in which we hold.
So the implication there is that if he is deported, that he will, they will undergo like very like strict consequence, and it will ensure that he does not rape any more children. I'm fine with that. The implication that we want to put these people in the American jail system is more so under the assumption that like our jail system is going to be more reliable than others. But like if we were to have deals worked out with other countries where we can ensure that that's not the case, I'd be fine with deportation then. But like the principle in a nutshell is I'm fine with spending tax dollars to reduce child rape.
Wouldn't the tax dollars, you could just use that to deport them, and then you don't have to deal with it, they're out of the country? It'd be less tax dollars, right?
Well, I mean, they could still rape children that aren't American.
Yeah, but okay, what if you just kill them instead?
Like death penalty for
videos. I think that the thing that I was describing a second ago was kind of like if you were to find a wanted pedophile who's been in hiding, right? When we find him, we put him in jail. We put him in the American jail because he's an American citizen. However, kind of like how if that same American pedophile were to flee to Mexico and Mexicans were to find him, wouldn't you kind of want him to be thrown into the American legal system, into our prisons?
Are you asking me something?
Yeah, it's.
What was the question?
The idea being, if we were to have an American pedophile who's wanted by the cops and he's running away, if he were to be trying to run to Mexico, he would try to make it to Mexico, and then Mexican Border Patrol or whatever were to find him, I think it would be more preferable for us to handle him than for Mexico to keep him and handle him.
So I'd want the Mexican criminal justice system to handle him if the Mexican criminal justice system was more reliable than the American criminal justice system, and I'd want the American criminal justice system to handle him if the American criminal justice system was more reliable than the Mexican criminal justice system.
I don't think that
the aim of the belief goes to mitigating the future potentiality for more child rape.
Yeah, and I think that the reliability isn't particularly what's in question. It's more of like what is just. It would be more just for us to handle our own pedophiles and for Mexico to handle their own pedophiles and to their own legal system.
So assuming that principle, let's just assume that let's just assume that 95% of people that go to Mexican jails escape, all right, and then go on to recommit a crime. Would you be okay with deporting pedophile and undocumented migrants then? Like assuming they're from Mexico.
No, but I think that hypothetical is pretty outrageous. Like, of course, 95% of people.
All that hypothetical tells us is that you actually do consider the reliability of the criminal justice systems insofar as if you deem deportation of violent undocumented migrants to be just or not. Seemingly, you agree with me.
More or less, yes, but I don't. The hypothetical is still outrageous. There's definitely not a single prison system in the entire world. It's not consistent with reality to say that there's 95% of people are escaping prisons. That's not what's happening in Mexico. And under reality, most people don't escape prison, whether you're Mexican jail or American jail.
Yeah, but now you're no longer arguing that my principles are wrong, but you're rather arguing that because these empirics exist that demonstrate the Mexican criminal justice system is reliable, my principle should dictate a deportation. And I'm fine with accepting the conclusion that if the Mexican criminal justice system is just as reliable at housing inmates and keeping them housed as the American criminal justice system, then deportation is warranted.
Yeah.
See, we're no longer disagreeing principally speaking, or just disagreeing on where that principle leads us.
So you are okay with some deportation. You literally said earlier that you're not okay with any deportation.
I was clickbaiting you for the YouTube video. I'm sorry, I wasn't actually
recording.
I'm not recording.
I'm recording.
Hey, just so you know, I was totally epically trolling. I love abortion. I'm not trolling this time, and I was just having a meme debate with you.
Well, what's going on?
Don't own me in a YouTube video. Thank you.
Well, it's going
I'm just kidding. I'm not actually recording.
I am.
Yeah.
Nice.
I want to click.
Nice. But what about? I gotta head off. Here.
Don't be recording, bro.
I gotta head off here soon. But before I do, does anybody disagree with the deportation of undocumented migrants that don't commit violent crimes?
I don't disagree with that, but I actually disagree with like what you were saying on that, and then what you had said previously, because you made it.
What? You disagree with me? You're crazy.
I found a contradiction in your shit. Yeah.
It's what I wish that we got more into was like I wanted to add, because when we were talking more about the abortion debate, is that I would ask Deem whether or not he believed in a soul, because he believes in consciousness, and consciousness at a certain extent, but then I would argue whether or not the rights of a person who has a soul is valid, because you don't have to believe in God to believe in a soul. You don't even have to believe in the supernatural to believe in a soul. But
well, it depends on how you define supernatural. If you just define supernatural of immaterial existence, and you define a soul as an immaterial self or immaterial cognitive function, then yes, the existence of a soul would imply the existence of supernatural. But it depends, definitionally speaking, how you define soul and how you define supernatural.
I define it exactly the way that you said it. It's the existence of the vehicle which holds all the things which make the immaterial you.
Yeah, it's just an immaterial mind. That's how philosophy of mind typically defines soul. I used to believe in the soul. I used to believe in the immateriality of the mind. I still might. I'm just agnostic now and don't really study philosophy of mind.
Yeah, I would argue.
I'm the one who won tonight. I'm the one. I won.
Okay. I would nothing. He said nothing. It's that from the perspective of a person who's pro-life, I would argue that the thing that gives a person life would be what we would call a soul, which I think we agree with what the definition of a soul is. And
you think a soul gives somebody life?
I'm a substance dualist, meaning there's the things that make you material and immaterial. So
wait. Yeah, but like,
well, if you took away the soul, they'd probably die. They'd like pass out.
A soul without a body is a ghost, and and ghosts,
your spiritual body, right?
Ghosts don't have rights.
Body.
Well, I don't think that
no rights for ghosts.
Depends on what you mean by life. There, like I don't think that under substance dualism, the soul implies like biological life. I think that you could have biological life without a soul, like bacteria and whatnot.
I think that to some extent, and this is where I become more radical, is that even back because in the same way that I believe that dogs have a soul, that giraffes have a soul, fish have a soul, I would go as far to say that bacteria has a soul.
Okay, and now you're just arguing for like unicellular consciousness, right?
Yeah, more or less. And I don't. I could be really, really dumb unicellular consciousness, but I think that is what gives I think life.
You think
what makes a human soul different to a bacteria soul then?
We're far more intelligent.
Yeah, hey guys, let's just talk all at once, please. Thank you.
We're far more intelligent.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Eukaryote or prokaryote? What is it?
I'm gonna go ahead and head out for the night.
Why would your soul have anything to do
All
with
right, Dean, it was a pleasure having you. Take care.
I sent you a friend request because I would love to debate you more about God's existence if you want to get into.
I'm with it. Yeah, man. Of course.